Thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we'll be taking a closer look at the new Hot Toys 1/6 scale Iron Man 3 Mark 39, otherwise known as the Starboost. Now, whether it's because of the really cool look of this or the rumor that this was originally supposed to show up in the Guardians of the Galaxy, who knows, but this suit really has taken on kind of a cult following. And a lot of people, including myself, really do like it. For the package, it is pretty similar to what we've gotten with a lot of the House Party Protocol suits. You got a nice image here of the Starboost on the front. You got the Iron Man 3 logo, Hot Toys movie masterpiece. You got the logo there, Iron Man 3 there, Iron Man 3 there. Come around here to the side, you can see that it kind of wraps around, highlighting the actual figure. Come around here to the back, and you got the various warnings and things of that nature, and a really cool background image here, kind of giving it a Jarvis kind of feel for it. Now, like I said, very similar to a lot of the other House Party Protocol figures. It just slips off just like so. And on the inside, you have the House Party Protocol Sir quote that Jarvis gave to us in Iron Man 3, as well as the cast and crew responsible for making the figure. You slide this out, and you have the clamshell that holds the figure within. Like I said, nothing really that we haven't seen before. It's just real cool art here of the Starboost, which looks really very cool. But beyond that, for the packaging, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get this out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Mark 39 Starboost opened up and out of its packaging. I really am absolutely impressed with this. I know I say it a lot, and it probably loses some of its impact after a certain amount of time, but as a fan of kind of space sort of things and space shuttles and astronauts and things like that, this really absolutely appeals to me. It really is like having a astronaut version of Iron Man. Now, in terms of his accessories, he is pretty light on them. This is really all you basically get. In addition to the regular mask that's currently on him, he also does come with one that is all gold, and it really is very cool how they incorporated this. Basically, what they did is kind of recreated that look that a lot of actual spacesuits have. When they're floating around in space and things like that, they have a full gold visor, and that's basically what you have here. I mean, you can see where his eyes are, but those are actually painted gold, so it gives that kind of spacesuit look, and I think it's really very cool. I'll show you how to attach that here in just a second, but in addition to that, he does come with the two fists that are currently on him. He also does come with two, both right and left hand in the repulsor kind of pose where you got it kind of like that, and you can see some great detail in here. I love how, again, you got the nice gold that's actually in between the fingers right there. Something that you actually lose when you look at the articulated fingers. I mean, as great as these are because you can pose the different fingers, the detail on these are actually much nicer. I mean, there's no real way that you could replicate that kind of gold interlay with articulated hands, but you do have both a right and left repulsor, and you do have a right and left articulated hand, where you got the thumb, you can ball joint that around there, you got a little swivel there. Each individual finger here is articulated. You do have the light up function capable kind of showing through on this. The only thing that you can't see the light up function with are the fists, but you know, what would you really need that for on the fists? And then you also do get a display stand here that you can see nicely kind of captures that Hall of Armor look, and then it does have the dynamic flexible pillar so you can get some nice poses with it. You can get him flying or things like that. You got the little clamp right here. I like how they actually put padding on the inside here, although mine is a little bit scuffed up on here. I don't really know why. It's kind of hard to see, but it's kind of damaged a little bit on the inside here, so that kind of bums me out, but I like how they put that in there. You also got a little padding put on this lower section, just all done so you protect the figure and don't get any kind of scrapes or anything like that. But then coming to the figure himself, this really is absolutely gorgeous. One of the coolest touches on here is that all the kind of dark blackish, well, not even black, but like gray or something, are done in these really nice embossed patterns that very nicely kind of replicate the underside of an actual space shuttle. You know, those ceramic tiles that protect it from burning up on the re-entry, that's basically what these look like, and it's incredible. I really dig it. There's a lot of scuffs on here that you would expect on a suit that's flying around in outer space. I really like those small little bits of attention to detail. I love how up here on the little thrusters, which it actually says intake, you have a little bit of burn mark kind of going on there. All really cool. Just an amazing amount of detail on this. And the one thing that's neat is this is an all new suit. I mean, as far as I can tell externally, there's like no reused parts. So that being said, that probably contributes to the little bit higher price point for this guy, because there really isn't a way you could reuse this. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, there's not another suit that looks like this. I mean, he only has one orbital spacesuit, and this is it. But just an amazing amount of detail. You come on here to the back, you got his thrusters right here, and I'll show off a really cool feature with that. That's incorporated with the light up feature. But then you come down here to the feet, you got some nice thrusters and things of that nature down here. Just all really very, very cool looking. Now, to replace the mask, which I honestly like this one a little bit more. You just take your fingernail, kind of wedge it in there, you pull it out just like so, and then you can take this, put that down, clap that into place, and I just kind of like that a little bit more. It gives it more of that spacesuit kind of look, but it's a very subtle difference. I mean, you can see you got the translucent piece right here with the eyes, and obviously when you have this on there, the light up function is not going to work with his eyes, but I just think that looks cool and gives it more of that spacesuit kind of look. But showcasing the actual light up feature, I need to take this back off. It's a pain in the butt to get to, but you got the little switch right there that you just will flip on like so, and you get a really weird light up eye thing there. Bring this down, clip that into place, and honestly, the batteries don't seem like they're in there very good, but you can see the eyes light up very nicely. He does have the repulsors in his hands. This is actually kind of cool how they did this. Oh, this is not supposed to come off. That just slides out just like that. Keep that in a place like that. But bringing in his hand to show off his little repulsor blast, you put that back on there just like so. And this is kind of neat how they did this. Normally you would have just a switch like here or something. You actually take this piece off, and then you got the switch right there that you can then light up, and you can angle that, and you can see he's got his repulsor blast. I really dig that. I think that's a neat little touch to kind of hide that little switch, but it does give you an extra piece that you have to worry about, but it's really not that bad. But just sitting there right there, I'm going to leave that on. Then you come around here to the back. This whole section right here, this is a little bit hard to get to. You pull this out just like that, and then you got the on-off switch right here that when you flip that on, it turns on his arc reactor. Really nice new look. It's triangle shaped, and it really does look terrific. I mean, I don't know how well that's actually going to show off. I mean, it's very bright. Maybe turn it off so that you can kind of see that. But I mean, really cool looking arc reactor right there. I definitely dig that. The other cool thing is, when you flip this switch, you can also see that he's got light up thrusters right here. I mean, again, turning them off so you can see, turning them on. There they are. Really cool. And it also vents along the side here. That's a little bit harder to see, but you can still see it when you flip that on. That's really very cool. Now, I'm not 100% certain if that is all just the light from there. I don't think it is. I honestly think that there's an extra light thing inside here that kind of bleeds to these little thruster bits right there. But regardless, I think it looks really cool. And I love the look with him obviously being all lit up. Now, it's unfortunate that you can't always leave it on, but it's, you know, it's a display option that most people don't ever do, just because, number one, a lot of people take the batteries out, or you can just pull his head off. That works too. They take the batteries out so that there's no damage to the actual connection bits right there or anything like that. And people won't even bother putting them in there, just because, honestly, like I said, you can't leave them on all the time. If there was a way to plug this in where you could leave them on all the time, I could see a lot more people displaying them with the lights always on, but it's not something that I'm too terribly concerned about, honestly. Putting his fist back on here, just like, you can keep that in there, keep that up in there just like that. Now, for his articulation, he does have a lot of it. It's a brand new suit, but a lot of articulation. The head is on two different ball joints. You got the little neck section right here that you get a little bit of flex, not a lot really, but the most articulation that you're going to get is in the top section, so you can move it back, forward, up and down. Unfortunately, that's about as high as you can actually get it for a flight pose, which is unfortunate because I would really love to have this guy flying. So I wish they were able to put a little bit more articulation here in the neck area. That's probably the weakest part about it. The shoulders, they move in and out like so. There's a whole separate joint right there so that you can really get a nice range of motion there. And that's a separate joint than the actual shoulder itself, which rotates around. It's got a nice ball joint there so you can actually lift it up a little bit higher, kind of bring it down. They move in and out. This whole section right here is on a little spring, so you can move it just like that, and it stays there, and when you bring it down, it comes back down as well, which is wonderful. Rotates here at the upper part of the bicep. Has two joints at the elbow, but unfortunately, that's the full range of motion with it. So a little bit more than 90 degrees. That's about 90 right there. It goes a little bit more than 90. The wrists here do rotate all the way around. They're on ball joints. If you have the hands on there, obviously the fingers have individual articulation. The waist right here, getting these out of the way, I already extended it. You can see that it does rotate a little, not much. That's like that. You have to extend it up, and then you get more of a range of motion with it. And then you can flex it all over. I love how all these parts are kind of separate so that as you're moving them, you can see that everything kind of moves along with it in a really cool way that still maintains that look. It doesn't break anything up, but it really adds some articulation. Even here in the back, you can see that you got these little pieces right here that flex and position wherever you're moving him. So you get a lot of motion just in the waist by being able to extend it out just like that. Come down to the hips, you can see that it moves forward and back pretty good, but again, you can extend that out. You get a further range of motion with it. You can move it in and out. This little piece right here does flex up, so you can get it moving out a little bit more. It does rotate at the upper part of the thigh. Again, you have this piece that moves around so that you can position things a little bit better. He's got two joints here at the knee, but that's about as far as you're going to get it. This I absolutely love. I love these little pieces that stick out when you're doing it. You can flex them back, but I just think that that looks cool. It's a unique look for it that I just really, really dig. He does have a ball jointed ankle, so you can get it moving left and right, forward and back, and then he does have toe articulation. These little pieces here can flex up so you can get more range of motion with the actual foot itself. But when you do it, I mean, like right here, kind of disrupts that kind of look, but what are you gonna do? It's still ridiculously cool. Honestly, of all the suits that I didn't think I was going to like, I really didn't think I was going to like this one. It's kind of out there, but that's really what has pulled me into it. A lot of my favorite suits aren't the stereotypical Iron Man suits. You know, the Python, the Midas, Peacemaker, Silver Centurion, Starboost, all of them don't have that, customary Iron Man look, but they're some of my favorite suits, and Starboost here really might be one of my favorites. But seriously, this guy is terrific. The whole new body design that it has, the completely different look, the really striking white color, absolutely just grabbed me and really, really does stand out. Like I said, I'm a big space guy. So like having an astronaut suit that's built out of a space shuttle just really is cool. I mean, just about everything about this hits my geek zone really, really hard. I absolutely love them, and I really cannot recommend this enough. Now, granted, as being part of the Iron Legion, not everybody's going to be keen on this. And it probably really only appeals to those Iron Man completists such as myself. But it's a great suit, and I really do feel unique enough that even if you only have one or two suits, this one would absolutely stand out. And I know a lot of people want to pick this up just because they kind of think of it as their Guardians of the Galaxy Iron Man. And I can see it. I totally can. So it works. I love it. If you guys are interested in this, I would not hesitate to pick this up. So if you are interested in getting this guy, all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You go to Sideshow Collectibles where you can pick this up and add it to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/TeamBotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at OptibotimusReviews.com where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own Optibotimus t-shirt. And finally, I'd also really appreciate it, guys, that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.